I was not planning to start out my video like that. All right. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. How is everyone doing? Um, I've spent my morning cleaning because I got the sudden urge to clean everything in the house. Which also kicked up a little bit of dust. So I'm a little bit uh, like this. Anyways, feeling a little bit of maybe ascension symptoms. If anybody else is feeling that, drop it in the chat and let me know. Uh, we are in this liminal space between the eclipses. So we have our um, lunar eclipse that happened like a week ago, and then we have the solar eclipse that's coming up in about, oh gosh, like don't make me do math, like 4 or 5 days from now. So we're kind of like in this space where we're releasing and letting go and purging, and hopefully on the other side of the next eclipse, we will be um, grabbing some of those rewards and seeds that we've been planting for so long and starting to reap those rewards. So anyways, that being said, good morning. Today, we're going to be talking a little bit about subconsciously why we hold ourselves back. And so, there, even when you have things that you are doing that you don't necessarily like about yourself or enjoy, or you kind of get down on yourself, like, why do I do this? Like, your subconscious, there's a reason that it still plays out these same patterns. There's a reason that it still plays out the same story. And it's because there's a reward behind that thing that you're doing. So this is something that does not get talked about a lot, especially in like the coaching and healing world. But sometimes that reward of staying small or playing small, however you want to say it, it's outweighing the reward of being successful, of growth, of changing your identity, or whatever it is that you're going after. And I know it sounds crazy because, like, consciously, like, we want growth, we want success, we want money, we want whatever it is for you, fame, love, acceptance. But your subconscious, it's running a different program. Like, it has this one program that it's been running its entire existence since you implanted this belief about yourself when you were young. But the truth is, like, staying in your stuff, whether it's struggle or burnout or being like scarcity mindset and debt, loneliness, like whatever it is for you, the reason that you're staying there is because you're getting something out of it. You're getting something back. And I know, like, even if it's painful, like, even if you hate it, even if it feels completely unbearable to be in this spot, your subconscious clings to it because there's a reward behind it. And this is something that is so mind-boggling to think about. It is very, very hard to pinpoint the reasoning behind this. So, and it's why you need a coach. It's why you need somebody to point it out, because we can't, it's so hard for us to fathom this. It's so hard for us to point this out for our own selves. Even me, like, I have coaches for this reason, because you cannot see the label from inside the jar, right? Like, if you're in a jar, inside of it, you can't read the label that's on the outside. You need somebody to physically look at it from the outside and take you deeper into things so you can actually figure this out so that they can point it out to you. So, some examples, some examples that somebody may be getting something out of something that subconsciously that they're doing. Like things like if I stay broke, then I get to play the sympathy card. Or people will step up for me. Or like recently we had that Netflix series. I'm going to recall the name. I think, un- unknown number. So there is, and I don't want to give anything away in case you have not seen it yet, but oh my gosh, like that show, movie, whatever you want to call it, kind of blew my mind a little bit. But um, gosh, I don't want to. So Munchausen syndrome is part of what's going on there. Um, and so what that is somebody will poison or emotionally take tolls on somebody that's close to them. And I'm really trying not to just like give everything away. So somebody that's close to them, they're essentially um, toxifying them in some way, like either physically, emotionally, whatever it is. And by doing that, they get to play the hero for that person. So this has happened in instances where mothers were like low dose poisoning their children so that they could take them to the doctors and, you know, like essentially be the hero for their kids, but also they got the sympathy of friends and family around them. Like, oh, you know, like you poor mom, like you have to deal with all this stuff, or you are a saint, an angel for being there for them. So like they get the sympathy from that. So think about it kind of like that. You if you are having issues where you a couple of weeks ago we talked about being busy being a trauma response, right? Busyness is seen in our society as kind of a badge of honor. So when and like it's funny because I would go through the busyness like rigmarole, right? Like I was juggling so many things at once, and at times I get into that juggle. Like um, recently, I had transitioning from my job. I had my last week in it, while also in a training program, and you know, like doing all the things all at once and momming, you know, like getting the kids to school and whatnot, and uh, doing workouts. So it's like when you put all these things on a plate or something, somebody from the outside world seeing, oh, you're doing, you know, you're working full time, you're in training full time, you're momming, you're still taking care of the house, you're still, you know, doing your workouts and eating right and all these things, you are superwoman, right? I don't know how many times I've heard that. You're superwoman. Oh my gosh, I cannot. You're amazing. You're badass. Blah blah blah. And that feels good, right? Like that feels really good to get that external validation, right? It makes you feel like you're important, like you're needed, that uh, people look up to you, you're an inspiration, right? When deep down, when somebody would say that, I would be like, "Ugh, I don't freaking feel like it. I feel exhausted. I am worn out. I'm why the frick do I do this to myself? Like, so think about it that way. My subconscious needed that. It needed to prove its worth. That's part of like the ego part of it is I needed to prove my worth to receive that validation, that love, that affection, that you know, maybe like belonging because you want to be in the pool of people that are constantly stressed and overworked and doing all the things, right? So it's to feel, like if I stay stressed, I get to feel important and needed. If I, or if I stay small, I avoid judgment, failure, or rejection. The big, big thing with fear of success has to do with the people that are around you. And I'll say that again. A lot of fear of success has to do with the people that are around you. So think about it like this. If I'm successful and I am in a friends group that is in a scarcity mindset, that, like they are constantly struggling, constantly bitching about how they don't have enough money, how things are so expensive. Like, oh my gosh, I had to, you know, replace my air conditioning unit, and now I have like no money to even feed my kids. Like things like that. If you are successful, there is a disconnect that's going to happen between you and that group of people because you're no longer going to be able to relate to those kinds of ailments, I would say. So yes, you can relate because they have happened in the past, but like it's almost like driving a wedge in between you and that social group. So your subconscious, and that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen, but your subconscious thinks that. It thinks that if you drive that wet, if you are in a different socioeconomic status than your normal group of friends, then you will drive a wedge and you will no longer have that friends group. You will no longer belong with them. They won't be able to relate to you and you won't be able to relate to them. That's what it thinks, right? So this is where they say the people that you surround yourself with has so much to do with your success level. So subconsciously, you may sabotage yourself, sabotage the things that you're doing so that you do not become successful and you stay in that group. You stay in that area. So does that make sense? Like I hope that I'm explaining that in a way that it makes it super easy and chunking down for you. But it's kind of twisted, right? Like the subconscious, it's going to choose what it believes is safer. Because part of like the hierarchy of needs is we want to feel safe, we want shelter, we want to be in a group of people. Like you want to be with the herd, right? Like you don't want to be off on your own getting eaten by lions and tigers and bears, right? Like you want to stay with the tribe and to procreate, to make new little beings. So these are parts of some of the things like your survival, your reptilian brain is like hardwired to do. These are things that no matter what, you can't change those. Like you're hardwired to do these things. So it believes that safety is staying with your group of people. So when you actually pinpoint these things and bring awareness to it, like that's when the shifts start to happen because you realize you don't have to abandon safety for growth. You don't have to trade love for success. That's a big thing. A lot of people think like I can either be successful or I can have love, but I can't have both. Or there are a lot of people that trade their health for success too. Like, you don't have to keep living in your old story because it gave you something familiar. So, this is where we get to kind of rewrite things. So, we bring awareness first, and then we start to rewrite the story. Once we bring awareness, we challenge it. So, we rewrite it, we rewire, and then you get to build safety in the growth. You get to find love and attention and belonging by being your fullest, truest, most benevolent self. And so this is kind of gearing up to what we're going to be talking about in the breathwork code. So this is where we're going to unlock some of these stories, some of this wiring, some of the nervous system, the energy, the subconscious, and we're going to do some, we're going to explore how some of these things keep you locked in survival loops, and then why your subconscious sabotages your growth, and then the exact tools to rewire them. So then that way your outer matches your inner. So we'll be starting that on Monday, September 29th, 1 p.m. Central. We're going to go for 3 days. And then on the fourth day, Thursday, October 2nd, we're going to do a healing day. And so this will be a little bit later in the day, because this one, everything else is going to be recorded. But this one, the live events where we're doing the actual healing, I don't record those because I feel like it's very important for you to be there live and to make the time for yourself and be with a group of people that's also going through the same thing at the same time. But I digress. Healing Day event is going to combine a little bit of the things that I love to do and combine them all together. So we're going to be doing some breath work. We'll be doing some energy work, some subconscious reprogramming. And that's where we get to release those hidden rewards that we talked about for about 3 days that are actually keeping you stuck. And this is, again, like something that I love to do every month as far as the Healing Day events. It brings me a lot of joy. I believe everybody should experience it at least once. So, if you're ready to stop playing small and start living in alignment, like, this is the thing to come to. I guess it's like 2 weeks from now, right? Like, growth does not have to mean unsafe. Success doesn't have to mean sacrifice. So it's time, like now, as we're going through, like all of these ascension things and shedding all these layers, it's time to look at who we're meant to be. It's time to rewire. It's time to rise. So I hope to see you all. I love you all. Have an amazing week. And thank you so much for being in my community.